Samoa Joe and NXT tonight. NXT World Title from Osaka, Japan, and on Lucha Underground, the Battle of the Bulls begins tonight in the Temple. Let's talk about it. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel today. NXT Lucha Underground for December 7th, 2016. Thank you guys so much for all the support lately. If you missed Monday Night Raw and SmackDown reviews, they are live on the channel right now. If you guys are more interested in my gameplay, I got some WWE 2K17, my career, Mr. 9 to 5 versus Dolph Ziggler, and I just uploaded a new awesome episode of Resident Evil 4 HD Remastered, completing Chapter 2. That should be done this week. If you missed that upload, that actually went up on Wednesday, so make sure you guys go check that out. NXT tonight, guys. Back at Full Sail. I'm happy about that. We also see footage from NXT Osaka with Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But tonight's show, I really enjoyed tonight's show, man. We're going to go over what happened tonight with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Obviously, you guys know that the match that they had with the Revival at TakeOver Toronto was nothing short of exhilarating. If you think about it, and I think about it, and you think of best matches for 2016, that's certainly going to be up there. That might actually be my number one. So you got to be on the lookout for that, man. I'm actually working on a video, top 10 favorite matches of 2016, spanning WWE Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Hopefully that will be out sometime the next couple of weeks. I really want to put a lot of work into it and give you guys a really, really well thought out video. So look forward to that. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa came down. They walked down the aisle into the ring. Fans going crazy. You deserve it. They look good with the championships. I love them. DIY. And I'm watching this from my computer here. I had made some pizza and some potato skins for dinner tonight. And I'm watching, and I'm thinking, and I'm not sure if I'm the only one who thought about this. I love DIY as a tag team, and I popped like fucking crazy when they beat the Revival. And I love the Revival. I think the Revival is the best tag team in all of WWE. Probably the best tag team in the world right now. Nobody's doing it better than both of those guys. But I'm looking at DIY. Yes, they're a great team. Yes, we all love them. Yes, they're going to have a decent run with the tag team championships. They're going to be exciting. They're going to give us top-notch tag team matches in NXT for the time that they have these belts. And we're going to see a match with the Revival, I believe. I think it's the second or third week of January is what William Regal stated tonight. Revival is getting a rematch against DIY. And like I said, I'm not sure if I'm the only one who thought this or is thinking this when I see both of these guys, Gargano and Ciampa. They're great as a tag team. They're money as a tag team. But I'm looking at these guys and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, these guys are great the way they are. But they could ultimately be their ultimate rival, each other, Gargano and his ultimate rival could be Ciampa and vice versa. I can't wait to see that, man. I would love to see a feud develop between these guys way down the line. I'm not talking about now, but in the future. That's a money-making feud right there, man. These guys are so over as baby faces that the potential for something like that to occur down the road when it does happen, because if I was to put money on it, for certain, that's a money-making opportunity, man. Both of those guys would bring out the absolute best in each other. I think both of them would be each other's ultimate rival. And I would love to see that, man. I'm not going to say it's going to be a Jannetty versus Shawn Michaels and have the impact that had. And I'm not going to say either one of those guys is going to go on to be a Shawn Michaels-esque WWE superstar. But the build and the intrigue there and the matchups that would come out of them both feuding against each other, that would be fantastic, man. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking long-term, years ahead down the line. And I'm thinking, wow, these guys would be great fucking rivals. But that's neither here or there. Gargano and Ciampa, tag team champions right now. We got a nice little reign to look forward to. And before they even utter a word out of their mouth, Paul Ellering comes in and he cuts a promo about, the chapter of the Authors of Pain has been written. They just won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and now the next chapter is going to be written by the Authors of Pain, and the next chapter includes the NXT Tag Team Championships. They get cut off. Ellering and the Authors of Pain get cut off. The Revival come out. They say that they're the true #1 tag team in WWE, NXT, and they walk down the ramp. They don't even walk by Authors of Pain. They take the alternate route. There's a little staircase on the side of the stage. They walk down that staircase to get to the ring, and they got their backs turned, and the Authors of Pain are on the stage, and Scott Dawson is, jabbing at the mouth. He's talking shit. Authors of Pain come down, and the Revival's getting intimidated. They're like, whoa, well, calm down, take it easy. Everything's going to be all right. Authors of Pain look at each other, and they shove the Revival down right in front of the ring. They scatter around ringside. And Paul Ellering says that AOP will be the next WWE NXT Tag Team Champion. So Gargano and Ciampa didn't utter a word. Crowd was loving them. Authors of Pain came out. And then the Revival came out. So we got a nice little triangle going here for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Very, very, very interesting. Now, we went from tag team scenarios into a tag team match to open NXT tonight. Alexander Wolf and Eric Young. They went against No Way Jose and Rich Swann tonight. And the big thing here about this match is that Sawyer Fulton was not there at ringside. He was not there at ringside, and Eric Young had his jacket. And Corey Graves and Tom Phillips both made it a reason to say, listen, Sanity is a 4-piece. And today, they came down as a 3-piece. One is obviously missing. So Sawyer Fulton, his jacket was in the hands of Eric Young, and Eric Young had his jacket. He threw it down in the ring, started stepping on it, started spitting on it, and then he throws it over the ropes into the aisleway. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Okay, so I didn't know what was going on. I didn't read the spoilers all that much. I just seen bits and pieces. This is something that I really missed when I read the spoilers for tonight's show. But the most biggest piece of information coming out of this match was that Big Damo, a huge individual, someone who, by the looks of it, would fit perfectly into Sanity. He made his NXT debut, and if you guys don't know who Big Damo is, he is from Northern Ireland. He is from Revolution Pro Wrestling. He's dabbled in New Japan Pro Wrestling, went, and had some matches with Tanahashi and Shinsuke Nakamura. I believe, from what I read earlier today, he was also in What Culture Pro Wrestling. He was with them for a match, I believe. I forgot who he was going up against, but he was there working for the What Culture guys in June, July of 2016, and they made mention of it on their program that Big Damo was an NXT recruit and that he would be reporting to Full Sail University and the NXT Performance Center this coming winter. And this is the first time we're seeing him here. He comes in through the crowd and he shoves No Way Jose into the ring post, and he just stares there, just faceless. Sanity don't know what the fuck's going on. He rolls No Way Jose back into the ring. Eric Young with that wheelbarrow neck breaker, 1, 2, 3. Nobody knows what's going on. Sanity's fucking confused. Then we see Big Damo walk up the aisleway, pick up the jacket that was thrown there by Eric Young before. He looks at it and then slams it on the ground and then walks away. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. We don't know what happened to Sawyer Fulton. We don't know why Big Damo was out there. Nothing was said about why he was out there. So Sanity, making a great debut weeks ago, now has easily become one of the most interesting things on all of NXT television. I'm very intrigued as to why this guy came out there. It's looking like he might be the new fourth man. What the fuck happened to Sawyer Fulton? Nobody knows. I haven't read anything. I don't know if he was released. I don't know if he's hurt. So I don't know what's going on with that, but by the looks of it, Big Damo certainly fits, just appearance-wise, perfectly, like a glove in Sanity. So that's going to be interesting, and I would love to see this guy interact with them a little bit more. I'd love to see him in the ring, what this guy brings to the table. Obviously, if WWE signed him and he's got all this experience in Revolution Pro and New Japan Pro Wrestling against Tanahashi and, matches against Shinsuke and Nakamura. This guy must be the real deal, So if you guys have any background on him, let me know, because this is the first time I'm seeing him, debut in NXT. Don't know much of a backstory, but those important pieces of information. But if you guys know about him a little bit more extensively, let me know in the comments below, man. I would love to know what you guys think of his in-ring skills, if you guys have seen him before. But Big Damo debuts tonight on NXT. We also had another debut tonight. Ember Moon went up against Kimberly, and she is a newcomer to NXT's women's division. She is working out of Chikara, and I do believe she was trained by Drew Gulak. Let me pull up my notes here that I had written down. I believe she was trained. Yes, she was trained by Drew Gulak. She's working out of the Chikara promotion, and she made her NXT debut tonight against Ember Moon. We really didn't see much of her as far as in-ring action goes. Ember Moon pretty much took care of her very easily. Eclipse off the top rope. Ember Moon looking more and more impressive every single week. Like I've said before, Ember Moon is my favorite female probably on all rosters right now. I love the work that she's doing. I love her entrance. I love her theme. I love her look. She's got it all, man. I can't wait to see how they develop her in 2017, if they do, in fact, build her up in a program to go one-on-one with Asuka. WrestleMania weekend is what I am predicting with that. We had a tag team match here. It says here Otis Dokovic and Tucker Knight defeated Johnny Knockout and Braden Knight. I don't know if I seen that on tonight's show. This is in my notes. We didn't see that. That might be saved for next week, but it was at the taping, so I'm assuming it's going to be pushed back to next week, because what we got tonight was pretty much most of the match between Nakamura and Samoa Joe. And obviously, if you guys have been paying attention to the interwebs and you haven't been living under a fucking rock, Shinsuke Nakamura is now a two-time NXT champion. He defeated Samoa Joe. And to be perfectly honest with you, they hyped this match up so much. We watched the highlights tonight on NXT, and I usually don't use this terminology when talking about NXT all that often. This was a complete piece of shit. And I mean that in absolutely no disrespect to the brand, because you guys know I'm a fucking mark. There's that word, oh JD, you're a smart mark, man. I'm a smart mark for NXT. I like NXT. NXT is the wave. It's the future. It's how WWE should be fucking presenting their product on both Raw and SmackDown. This was a complete piece of shit. It wasn't exciting. We knew going in, what was going to happen. I thought that Samoa Joe was actually going to end up winning, because WWE has had a string of having their hometown guy go into their hometown and end up losing. I didn't think they were going to take the title off Samoa Joe. There's been conflicting reports that Joe is not going to be making his main roster debut. And Nakamura goes in there in a very, very lackluster contest. I mean, a lot of people now are crying out on Twitter, oh my God, again? How many more times do we have to see it? Because now they're touring Melbourne, Australia, and they're having another go-around, another title match for Joe and Nakamura, this time in a steel cage. That's going to be televised next week, so the reports of that should be coming out within the next 48 hours, probably less than that. Nakamura wins tonight, very lackluster. If you've seen Toronto, that's all you need to see, man. That was their best match. Whatever this was, it did absolutely nothing for me. The Japanese crowds, they respect more than anything. They're a complete polar opposite of what we do here in the States for a takeover event. They're more respectful. They're more in tune with what's going on in the ring. They're less enthused. They're more entertained by what's happening in the ring. They're very quiet, very respectful people. When watching someone like Nakamura do the art of wrestling, he defeated Samoa Joe tonight. It wasn't all that impressive, to be honest with you. It really wasn't all that impressive. They hyped it up so big. They made it seem so important. And they could have just kept it as a fucking tweet, to be honest with you, or a news article on WWE.com. If that was all we were going to be given, I really didn't need to see that, man. I would have rather seen a full-fledged main event at Full Sail University for these tapings tonight. Honestly. Nakamura is a two-time champion. They're going at it again in Melbourne, Australia. They got the steel cage match, which will be televised next week, and that was pretty much it on NXT. That was it. Another piece of information, WWE is having 4 matches They're having 4 matches take place over this span of 2 or 3 weeks. Ty Dillinger was in the office of Steven Regal tonight, and he stated that, listen, I stated that if I didn't beat Samoa Joe, I didn't think I belong here in NXT. William Regal says, before you continue what you want to tell me, I know you're having a rough go around here and things aren't going your way, but I want to put you in the mix to crown a new #1 contender for the NXT Championship. So Ty Dillinger is going to be in a match, I believe, I don't know if it's against Eric Young. I think it's against Eric Young. Is what they said. They showed the graphic tonight. Excuse me if I messed that up, but there are going to be 4 singles matches, and the winner of those 4 singles matches will move on to a fatal 4-way, and from there they will crown a new #1 contender for the NXT Championship. If you guys read the spoilers, you guys know who it is. If you have not, I'm not going to spoil it here for you. If you've been watching me over the past week and a half, or if you've been following me on Twitter, you guys know who it is. I'm not going to reveal it here. We'll just pretend like we don't know. But I like where NXT is going right now. Nakamura still, the face of that company, now reclaiming the NXT Championship tonight from NXT Osaka. I don't know what they're doing or where they're going with this. I hope to God they don't put the title back on Joe and flip flop it back and forth. We don't need to see that again. We don't really need to see that at all. Just keep it the way it is right now. I made a prediction for TakeOver San Antonio. I do believe if I was a betting man, I would put some money on Joe being in the title hunt still WrestleMania weekend. I would book whoever Nakamura goes up against from this #1 contendership match that they got planned. I would put Nakamura against that individual and then include Samoa Joe. Make it a triple threat match because there's really nothing else for Samoa Joe to do. You might as well get him one last hurrah there, triple threat, and then have him debut in the Royal Rumble. That's it. Lucha Underground tonight, guys. I really enjoyed tonight's episode, and you guys know how I love the tournament aspect to crown a new champion or a new #1 contender for whatever situation they got going on, current storyline-wise. Instead of what NXT is doing, we got 4 singles matches happening at Full Sail. Winners of those matches go on to a fatal 4-way to crown our #1 contender. Tonight on Lucha Underground, we're having 4 fatal 4-way matches throughout the weeks. And the winners of these fatal 4-ways are going to go on to a final fatal 4-way, which will be a elimination-style fatal 4-way. And the winner of that will go on to fight Johnny Mundo for the Lucha Underground Championship. Dario Cueto is calling this the Battle of the Bulls at Boyle Heights. So very, very interesting stuff there from Lucha Underground and Dario Cueto. We start the show off tonight with Angelico. He comes in wanting a match with Johnny Mundo. And he wants his revenge on Mundo for what the Underground did to him. They put him out with injury. Angelico says, I want Mundo, whether it's for the title or not, I want Mundo tonight. And Dario says, listen, I would love to do that. I would love for you to go one-on-one with Johnny Mundo. But Johnny Mundo's got lawyers. They're tying me up. I can't really do much. But what I can do for you as a consolation is I can put you in this concept that we have going on here at the Temple, Battle of the Bulls. I could put you in one of the Fatal 4-Way matches. If you win, you get to advance to a final Fatal 4-Way, elimination style, and from there, if you win, you get Johnny Mundo. So that's what he did for Angelico. I know it's not what he wanted, but it's at least something. Because, like I said, Mundo has lawyers that are tying up Dario and pretty much restricting him from doing everything that he wants to full capacity. So that's the way we started the show tonight. As far as this Battle of the Bulls, we started off with Cage, Tejano, Joey Ryan, and Dr. Wagner Jr. with Famous B and Nurse Brenda in his corner. And Cage ends up winning this match. I am very impressed by Cage every time I see him. I say the same thing over and over again. Very, very athletic. Great moveset for a man his size. That's what Ryback should have been in WWE, but I feel like they restricted Ryback from being great, and they really stunned his growth in WWE. Cage is what Ryback should have been. Phenomenal athlete for a man his size. He ends up winning. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe Cage and Tejano have another match coming up. I believe they should be on their 4th match for their best of 5 series for this unique opportunity that Dario Cueto promised the winner of that best of 5. Let me know if that is still taking place. I'm not sure why they stopped it. They might have just put it on hold for now to get to this, but I do believe they have a 4th match coming up, and Cage is up 2 matches to 1 in that best of 5 series. Cage wins here in this Fatal 4-Way. Tejano is the final man standing here. He hits a powerbomb to Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan played a great heel in this match. You know, he's very cowardly. You know, he was running away from most of the action, picked his opportunities when he's seen fit. You know, that's pretty much what Joey Ryan does. He hit a powerbomb, Tejano did to Joey Ryan. Cage breaks it up. He takes Tejano's bull rope right to the face. Pinfall, 1, 2, 3. Cage advances in this Battle of the Bulls tournament, and he is the first man to secure a spot in that final fatal four-way. Sexy Star is in Dario's office. She's upset that she got screwed over by the Underground in the title match where Johnny Mundo won the belt back thanks to Taya. Taya was in a mask, as we seen last week, and that was the reason why Johnny Mundo won the Lucha Underground Championship. So Dario does a favor to Sexy Star, okay? He is going to give her another opportunity at Johnny Mundo if she beats PJ Black tonight. She's okay with it. If she beats PJ Black, she will get Johnny Mundo for the Lucha Underground Championship, but that's not all. She will get Mundo for the title in a steel cage. No member of the Underground will be able to interfere in the title match if she beats PJ Black. If she doesn't win, there's a catch. If she doesn't win, she never gets another title shot ever again. So she must win tonight to secure another championship. If not, she is done. Sexy Star versus PJ Black. Very, very, very good match. You guys know how I feel about the situation that occurred at Aztec Warfare with Sexy Star pinning Mil Muertes. Not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the women challenging for a world championship. I'm not a fan of, women versus men in Lucha Underground. I can bear with it if it's one-on-one, but if it's an Aztec Warfare type of situation where you got guys like Mil Muertes and fucking Matanzas in the match, no. Not for me, bro. Not for me. Sexy Star versus PJ Black tonight. This was a very, very good match. The highlight of this match was PJ Black. He had Sexy Star in a... I don't know what it was. If it was a wheelbarrow position or a pendulum, position. He was rocking her back and forth as if they were in bed, as if he was giving it to her from behind, pretty much. And with every thrust, with every swing, right? PJ Black had Sexy Star's head hit the bottom turnbuckle, and Matt Stryker called it beautifully. He was disgusted. The fucking people in the crowd were disgusted. Vampiro was like, well, if I had a steel chair with me, I'd fucking jump on the apron and just nail this guy right across the face. And, they said, or Matt Stryker said, listen, Sexy Star probably wouldn't even want you to do that for her because she could do it herself if she wanted to. So, in the end here, we seen Jack Evans run in. He wanted to help PJ Black win. They didn't want Sexy Star to get another championship match, obviously. He runs down with a baseball bat, throws it in the ring behind the referee's back. Referee turns, sees the baseball bat before PJ Black ever gets a hand on it, and he ends up holding Sexy Star. We got PJ Black going for a super kick as Evans held Star. It was a complete miscue. PJ Black inadvertently hits Jack Evans with a super kick that fucking levels him off the apron. Sexy Star takes advantage. Roll up from behind. 1, 2, 3. Sexy Star is getting another Lucha Underground Championship against Johnny Mundo. And if the deal is upheld, it will be inside a steel cage. Cobra Moon. Cobra Moon is sitting on a snake throne, and she is talking to a few men who are wearing snake masks. And I do believe this entire thing, which reminded me of a scene out of the Mummy movies. And by the way, if you guys haven't seen the new Mummy trailer, go out and watch, man. Tom Cruise, Russell Crowe, the remake of Brendan Fraser's Mummy turned into a more dark, sinister story. I can't wait, man. I really love those Mummy movies. Every time they're on, I always watch them. And I hate going to the movies. I hate sitting with the fucking screaming kids and the fucking smelly people. I hate being around large groups of people in general, but that's something I will go out of my way to go watch because I was a big fan of those movies, and I'm very interested to see how Tom Cruise and Russell Crowe are in this new adaptation of the Mummy movies, man. It certainly looks very, very epic. So if you guys haven't seen that, you can find it on YouTube. But that's what it reminded me of here, man. Cobra Moon and these men wearing snake masks. I do believe this probably has to do with Drago. I am not really sure about that. I'm not too really keen on the backstory between everybody here, but I do believe this has to do with Drago. So that's my assumption there. If I'm wrong, please let me know down in the comments below. Now, the best part of the show here is, again, with Dario and Matanza. Now, he walks up to Matanza, who is still encaged. He's still entrapped in this jail cell. And as we seen him last week, he took his own fist and he started outlining the Rey Mysterio question mark logo on the wall with his fist. Blood. His own blood is what he outlined the question mark in. And Dario Cueto walks up to the cage. He's like, listen, I'm going to give you one more opportunity. I want to put you in this Battle of the Bulls tournament. Do you want it? And Matanza's like, no, he wants Rey Mysterio. And then Dario's like, I understand you want Rey Mysterio, but he's in a hospital somewhere thanks to what you did to him in Aztec Warfare. As soon as Mysterio is cleared to go and is healed from his injuries, I will give you Rey Mysterio. And I can't wait for that to happen, man. It's going to be fucking great. Okay? But he mentions Rey Mysterio's protege, Dragon Azteca. And he tells Matanza, does Dario, that Dragon Azteca was blinded by rage and he almost lost his life. Now, Matanza is blinded by rage right now. He wants Matanza to come down and come to his senses and realize what is more important right now. So, Matanza looks at his brother, and Dario's trying to calm him down. Matanza sticks his hand through the gate of the jail cell, and he grabs Dario by the back of his neck in a nice, I guess it was a brotherly embrace. I don't know what was going to happen. I don't know if he was going to grab his hair and say something to him, but typical Matanza here, he grabs Dario by the hair and slams him right into the jail cell. Dario's knocked out. Matanza kneels down, reaches for the key to the jail cell that was on Dario's person. He reaches for it, and as soon as he reaches for it, they cut away right to the final fatal four-way, which was the main event tonight. Marty the Moth, Dragon Azteca, Mil Muertes, and the Mac in a Battle of the Bulls match. Now, this was your main event, and it was a very, very exciting match. You know, action all over the fucking place. Matanza grabs the key. He unlocks himself out the jail cell, and he interferes in this match. That was it. After that, I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is going to happen here? I legit thought that Dario Cueto was going to allow this to go. And I thought Dario was going to allow Matanza to enter this match, you know, because he can do whatever the fuck he wants. I thought Matanza was going to end up winning this match and gaining entry into the final fatal four-way match. But we got Mil Muertes in the ring. He's going to work on Dragon Azteca Jr. He goes for a powerbomb, but Azteca reverses it into a Rana. Mil Muertes is out of the picture right now. And he goes up for a 450. He goes up again for another move. Matanza rushes to the ring. And he goes after the closest thing that looks like Rey Mysterio, man. He goes for Dragon Azteca Jr. He power bombs Dragon Azteca out of his fucking mask. Brutal. And he delivers the Wrath of the Gods. This guy flipped Azteca Jr. about 4 fucking times in midair, as if a fucking Italian chef is fucking flipping a pizza dough in the pizzeria, making you a large pie with extra cheese. Unbelievable, man. Wrath of the Gods right in the center of the ring, right on top of the Lucha Underground logo. Done. People going crazy. People are booing. I didn't know what was going on here, man. Then we see Dario Cueto come out. I thought he was going to let Matanza in the match and win the match. But instead of that, he comes out wearing a fucking towel across his face, completely covered in blood. Dario's fucking bloodied all over the place. You only see one side of his face. You only see the good side of his face. The other side is completely covered in blood. Fucking towel draped in blood. He's got the key. He's swinging the key, which Matanza is mesmerized by. He's telling Matanza to come to the back. Come on, let's go. And Matanza is following Dario out of the ringside area to the back. And then after this, after Dario takes Matanza away from the action, we got Marty going over to cover Dragon Azteca after the Wrath of the Gods power slam. The Mac breaks it up. He hits a beautiful stunner on Marty the Moth. 1, 2, 3. The Mac is the winner, and he advances with Cage in the final fatal four-way, man. Now, I don't mind this at all. If it was Mil Muertes, it would be a little bit too predictable. But I don't mind the Mac, man. I'm a big fan of whatever the Mac is doing. He's very athletic for a man his size. He's great. He's just got it, man. I love it. and it's unpredictable. It's a different direction. Instead of giving the obvious choice, Mil Muertes, a spot in the final Fatal 4, well, we got the Mac. We got Cage and the Mac. Opportunity to someone who usually is not there to get it. I like it. The Mac wins it. Beautiful stunner to Marty the Moth. 1, 2, 3. He advances to the final Fatal 4-Way in the Battle of the Bulls tournament set up by Dario, Cueto, man. And that was your Lucha Underground. This Matanzas story is interesting, man. I'm waiting for Rey Mysterio to heal up and get back from injury, and I can't wait to see what Matanza does, man. This entire thing is very, very interesting, and I can't wait to see what develops here. And if anybody knows, man, what is with that key? What's with the key? This is my first season, so I really don't know if the key was a crucial part in Matanza's character. What is the key for? What is the mesmerizing aspect of the key that Dario has every time he waves it that Matanza follows blindly like he's some fucking puppet? I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm interested to see how this plays out. Very, very cool stuff here by Lucha Underground. Great show tonight. NXT was The stuff with Sanity was okay, but all in all, man, Monday sucked, Tuesday sucked, Wednesday, picked up the pace a little bit, but all in all, a very lackluster week of pro wrestling here so far. We got TNA tomorrow, which I don't cover, but you guys, you could do whatever the fuck you want with TNA. And then obviously you guys will see me back here for Off the Script on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as we head towards Roadblock, end of the line, the last exclusive pay-per-view for Monday Night Raw. I'm JD, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, hit that thumbs up, and I will be back tomorrow with Off the Script. Until then, take care, have a great day, and I will see you guys on Friday morning. Talk to you later.